All right, we are green. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix both of those bad boys together. And today, we're going to talk about the breaking news where Mexico just got its face kicked in because they tried to take our gun rights through international courts funded by gun controllers here in the United States. They just got smoked unanimously. That means all the lefty judges did it too. The PLCAA reigns supreme yet again. Gun controllers get pounded. Clear enough? All right, guys, as you get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You alone are preventing me from falling victim to the censorship algorithm. So make sure you have not been unsubscribed in an unscrupulous nature in the dark of night, and make sure that freedom prescription is still active and delivering. All right, people, as you get in here, guys, make sure you check out the new limited time designs. We is funding the channel. You're looking great while you're wearing what you believe. We're coming for our freaking rights. Hey, here's a good example for this video. Hey, gun controllers at Everytown for Gun Safety. Then you go into Mexico and you form an international group that's going to go against gun rights using the courts from Mexico. Yeah, get stuffed. We're coming for our rights, and Uncle Sam and we the people are pissed. There's a link in the description box below. Check it out while you've got it. Men and women's shirts all are available. Let's get into this. Everybody, let's have some parties. At Braden LOA, follow me on X. Let's dive in. All right. I'm gonna lead off with a good friend of mine, Eric Pratt. He's the SVP at GOA, and he says it so well. SCOTUS 9-0. Wow, that's not just a win. That's a smackdown. It is indeed, Eric. It is indeed. Earth2Giffords.org in Everytown. When you even lose Kagan and Sotomayor, that tells you may be weaponizing the courts against lawful gun owners. Maybe isn't just wrong. It's embarrassingly wrong. Yeah, it is embarrassingly wrong because Smith & Wesson just took you guys to the curb and pounded your faces in. 9-0? Get wrecked. All right, so now, as you guys are sending this out, make sure you guys are doing that because the algorithms need some Jesus recently. But here's the background if you are not familiar, and then I'll walk through all the different pieces that are coming out because this happened about an hour ago. One, Everytown for Gun Safety had a lawyer. For the life of me, I cannot remember his name right now. I think his name's Abe Lowell, but don't quote me on that. And he went down to Mexico after he left Everytown for Gun Safety. And he founded something called the International Gun Group or an International Gun Control or Gun Control for, chickens, whatever it was called. And so what he did there is because he went out of the United States and it was funded by a guy in Everytown. And then he went out of the United States and he partnered with the Mexican government, which, by the way, also had ties to the Biden administration, to the State Department. We covered that as well. And then they launched a lawsuit from Mexico into the United States because it was from outside the United States. So the Protection and Lawful Commerce in Arms Act didn't apply because Mexico did it, not inside the United States. That was the whole game. They tried to circumvent the United States system and legal system by going through Mexico to take away our gun rights by suing the gun manufacturers for cartels and their criminal behavior. 9-0. Get smoked. Let's keep going. Oh, goodness gracious. As you can see, Gun Owners of America, Supreme Court hands down a unanimous 9-0 victory in Smith & Wesson versus Mexico. I'm dunk on these people so hard at Braden LOA because they tried to do this and they got wrecked. I showed you that one already. All right. So this is from an account I like to follow, Costas Moros. Make sure you follow because it's really good information. Justice Thomas writes a short concurrence saying the court should further clarify the Protection on Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. Now, before I dive into that, the PLCAA, or the Protection and Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, is what prevents the gun controllers from suing the entire ecosystem and supply chain of guns and gun manufacturers out of existence. That basically says the company can't be held liable for something criminals do. Does that sound like cartels? I don't know. Let's keep going. Justice Thomas concurring. The court today correctly decides that Mexico has not plausibly pleaded that its suit falls under the predicate exception to the PLCAA, which is what the gun controllers from Everytown were trying to do. This exception allows otherwise prohibited suits against gun manufacturers to go forward if, among other requirements, the manufacturer has knowingly violated a state or federal statute applicable to the sale or marketing of the product. Remember, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to say that Smith & Wesson and Beretta and all the gun manufacturers were selling to the cartels directly, and they knew what they were doing. They were aiding and abetting is what they were trying to say. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we all knew it was going to die, but this is a glorious fashion. I write separately to note that the court's opinion does not resolve what a plaintiff must show to establish that the defendant committed a violation. It concludes only that Mexico has not adequately pleaded it's the theory of the case, that as a factual matter, the defendant gun manufacturers committed criminal aiding and abetting, In future cases, courts should more fully examine the meaning of violation under the PLCAA. It seems to me that the PLCAA at least arguably requires not only a plausible allegation that a defendant has committed a predicate violation, but also an earlier finding of guilt or liability. Guys, they got so smacked. Kagan wrote this decision, as in Justice Kagan, as in far lefty Kagan, and Sotomayor went along, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Y'all, get wrecked. All right, let's see here. Because Mexico's complaint does not plausibly allege that the defendant gun manufacturers aided and abetted gun dealings and unlawful sales of firearms to Mexican traffickers, the PLCAA bars the lawsuit. Get wrecked. I'm going to say it 100 times in this video. These guys tried to circumvent our national law by going from Mexico and take away our gun rights funded by gun control affiliated persons. Get wrecked. Even the lefty judges aren't on board with you guys. Let's continue. Kagan wrote this. Let's see. But these products are both widely legal and bought by many ordinary consumers. Kagan wrote that. Guys, one of the things that I'm going to hit really hard on this video, other than get wrecked, is these people are trying to circumvent the rights of not only you, the viewer right now, but every other American who doesn't pay attention to this, but also everyone that comes behind us. So the important part of this channel is not only telling you what's going on, but how we're going to pass blessings on to the next generation, of which we are privileged to have in this entire globe. These dill holes tried to circumvent that by going through Mexico. Surprise, surprise, an end run around existing laws to get what they want, because it doesn't matter how many eggs you break as long as you get your gun control. And they can't even get one of the liberal justices on the SCOTUS. That's how absurd and stupid this was. I have an idea. Why don't, as the United States, why don't we sue back these organizations? Because this cost us millions of dollars in 5 years of litigation. How about we do that? Let's make a consequence for these assholes who try to circumvent the national laws in order to get their gun control and affect everyone else. Why don't we make them have some consequences? I don't know. Maybe I'm too vindictive. Let's keep going. Get wrecked again. All right, my good buddy Bill. Washington gun law. Huge news out of SCOTUS, and good news this time. The court has issued its ruling in Smith & Wesson versus Mexico. It is authored by Justice Kagan, but good news, which is funny. It is a unanimous opinion in favor of Smith & Wesson. Today starts better than Monday. I am going to be jumping on my ex all day and just dunking on these gun controllers. I don't know who's going to avoid it. I don't think anyone's going to. I think Moms Demand Action might get some, givers.org, Every Time for Gun Safety, and you are free to jump over there and with me on @BradenLOA. But here is the proof. It wasn't just a mirage and a dream. As you can see right here, Justice Kagan delivered the opinion of the court. Y'all, get wrecked. 9-0 against gun controllers, against Mexico, because they tried to circumvent the United States rule of law. The PLCAA, which is the bane of existence of all gun controllers everywhere, has now basically kicked them in the nuts again. Yeah, that's a good way to start any day. I don't care who you are. Make sure you guys follow me @BradenLOA. We are at 17.7 thousand followers, and we would love to get to 20,000 with your help. And check out that shirt that we have custom designed just for you, because we wear what we believe. Links in the description for everything, and I will see you guys on the next one. Spread this out. It's a great day.